I mean, that's wrong, man. I mean, not just like torturing someone. I mean, going in there and hurting someone is just not fair on Davis.
Jake Paul, Tank Davis.
I got Tanner. Fine.
Size don't matter?
Hell no.
And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big. When for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. Now you get to see if that's real.
Boxing pros are leaning toward Gervonta "Tank" Davis in his fight against Jake Paul. Many believe Davis's experience and skill will be too much, predicting he'll dominate from start to finish. Paulie Malignaggi was clear. Jake's size won't matter against a fighter like Tank. He reminded fans that Davis's career is legendary, built on years of dominance, highlight reel knockouts, and a legacy that has already shaped modern boxing. For Malignaggi, this fight is about reminding the world just how elite Davis truly is.
I think Davis is more to lose because he's the bona fide world champion. I don't care if he's much smaller. I think Jake Paul has sort of plateaued as far as where his boxing is concerned. It's rather low level. He's big, he's physical, he's strong, he can hit. So there is that risk. Davis, at lightweight, you're in a moment where it's too physical for you. You can clinch. Against the heavyweight, where you clinching? You ain't getting out of that corner just clinching anymore if you run out of space. You know what I mean? So it's interesting. But Davis, listen, there's a lot of talking points that I'm sure we'll get into when this gets closer to the fight. Davis can still punch a lightweight. Can he drop a heavyweight? There's a lot to gain there, right? If Davis knocks...
The answer is yes.
If Davis drops Jake on his ass, as much as Davis is the one with more to lose, it's still a highlight moment.
A visual that will stay forever.
Yeah. But if you get dropped, even if you're smaller, you're still a world champion in multiple weight classes. If you get dropped, what's the look? What's the feel? On the inside, as boxers, me and Chris Aldrey, the champ, even you, Jimmy, you have fight experience, so we know that the risk is a big guy that big hits you. You're probably going down if you're a small guy, if he hits you clean. So we know the risk, but how does it look to the public eye who don't understand that? You know what I mean? The public. So there is a lot to lose, though. There's a bit to gain. I wouldn't necessarily have an issue with this had Davis's career arc been one that benefited boxing. Davis was manufactured and put into a position where he's supposed to benefit boxing. And I don't think he has. I think he's hurt boxing. So by giving him this reward, that's my problem. Why are we watching this? Why don't you make him earn his spot that he still hasn't earned, mind you?
Nakisa Bidarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions and one of the key figures behind Jake Paul's boxing journey, also spoke ahead of the official fight announcement. Nakisa dismissed size as a deciding factor, insisting that speed, power, and skill matter far more. And Davis has all three at the highest level. He revealed that this fight has been in the works ever since Jake's proposed bout with Canelo Alvarez fell through. To him, Davis versus Paul isn't random. It's a calculated move designed to merge spectacle with legacy on a global stage.
I got to ask you about the elephant in the room. What weight, Nakisa?
Level.
I got to ask you about the elephant in the room. What weight, Nakisa? What weight could... I got to ask you about the elephant in the room. What weight, Nakisa? What weight could they possibly be fighting at? The news broke. Jake and Tank are going to happen November 14th.
Whatever weight they want, man, they're talking about it, and whatever it is, it's going to be a definitive outcome. People can talk about pro, exhibition. We're going to make sure this is as real as it's real.
Why was it, just out of curiosity, why is it not a professional bout and why is it an exhibition? Because I'm sure Jake would have taken the professional bout.
Nothing's been communicated as yet in terms of what it is, right? Similar to, if you remember, with Paul Tyson, when we announced it, we didn't have the weight, we didn't have the rules, particularly in terms of the number of rounds, the minutes, the gloves. It's going to be the same thing here.
Gotcha. Can you just offer us any insight as to how these negotiations went? And the reason I ask is because I remember back in March, I was at Tank's fight. And after his fight and his press conference, he was asked, next opponent. He said, well, my next opponent might have been in my locker room tonight. And people asked him, was it Jake? He made reference, he made allusion to. Has this been an ongoing thing? And has it ever, been at a point where it wasn't going to happen and came back? Or was this always the plan?
Always been the plan for Jake to fight Tank once Canelo didn't happen. And to Tank's credit, he's a real bad dude. And he's been calling out Jake for 3 years. And people, it's funny how now they're saying size matters, Jake is big. when for so long it's been Tank would kill Jake Paul. Now you get to see if that's real. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Gotcha. Knockout?
One of them.
The elephant in the room. What do you know about how this came to be? And then if you can, do you have any idea on what the weight is going to be between Jake Paul and Tank Davis, which was just announced?
Well, considering that I'm one of the guys on the team, you know, we always like to allow everyone in front to be able to release the information as they please.
But not everyone agrees. Veteran trainer Jeff Mayweather actually sided with Jake Paul. He explained that at this particular weight, Jake may have the upper hand. Paul has fought most of his career at cruiserweight, carrying natural size, reach, and power. Davis, meanwhile, is moving up significantly, and Jeff questions how Tank's smaller frame will handle the jump. His prediction highlights the real debate: raw skill versus natural size.
You have weight classes for a reason. And I mean, even as good as Tank is.
It'd be similar to Logan and Floyd, right? If it's an exhibition.
Well,
I mean, the weight differences.
The weight difference is way more. Jake is over 200 pounds.
Logan was around 200 pounds.
Yeah, but
who wins the fight, man? We ain't talking. Who wins if they have it? Come on now, answer the question.
I mean, to be honest, I would think Jake know how to fight a little bit. I think he should win. You beating a man that's 135 pounds, he should be able to win.
Tank himself has leaned into the hype, fueling excitement by posting the official fight promo on Instagram. Many fans expected him to chase a rematch with Lamont Roach to cement legacy. Instead, Davis embraced the spectacle of facing Jake Paul. The message was clear. Boxing isn't just about legacy fights, it's also about global entertainment. While purists may criticize the move, Tank sees Paul as a legitimate opponent because the fight will capture worldwide attention and break records. Intro.
They're trying to fight they were trying or still trying to find a common medium, which is 175, so the fight can officially be sanctioned as a real boxing match. But there's no boxing commission that will sanction it because the weight is just too far apart. And Jake Paul has proven to be a true boxer now, okay? So it's considered an exhibition, which what I'm being told is going to be 10 2-minute rounds. But they wanted Jake Paul to make 175 so this can be a real boxing match and count against their record and box rep. But the fans are demanding to see him fight Lamont Roach. As I told you guys, Tank told you that he wasn't fighting Lamont Roach in the rematch. He had other plans, which is Jake Paul. He told you that in the post-fight press conference after the Lamont Roach fight, right? So with that said, that fell through at the time, and he revisited and entertained the idea of fighting Lamont Roach in the rematch. But he never signed the contract. They were supposed to fight June 21st. He never signed the contract. Then they were supposed to fight August 16th. He never signed the contract. And then he had the arrest. He had to get bailed out, so on and so forth. With that said, now he's broke his silence. He resurfaced on social media because he went ghost on social media. And he put up this promo, and the fans are responding in a negative way. And he's responding in a negative way. He's responding right back with the same energy. And he's telling the fans, because the fans are saying, hey, the money that you reportedly making, which is being said that he's going to make $40 million for this fight, according to multiple sources and Eddie Hearn and a few other people, he's supposed to make guaranteed purse of $40 million.
Matchroom's Frank Smith later revealed that a Roach rematch was indeed in the works. But the Jake Paul opportunity changed everything. The money, the spotlight, and the international reach were simply too big to ignore. Smith noted this reflects the reality of modern boxing. Fighters are balancing merit with marketability. For Davis, the Paul fight isn't just about skill. It's about tapping into a global fan base far beyond hardcore boxing circles. Of avoiding high-level opponents like Shakur Stevenson or Teofimo Lopez in order to chase the Paul money fight. Social media has been loud with those claims, but others push back, saying Davis has already proven
this. And let's say you take money out of the equation, which is obviously the main factor here, but like he's in a division where he's got killers all in his division. You know, Shakur, Haney, who's 147. You know, you look at a T.O., for example, Keyshawn, and then you choose to fight someone like Paul. Surely that's a concern when you do look at it like that.
Yeah, but again, it's the world we're in. If you can get a huge amount of money to fight someone who's never boxed, really, before, you're going to do it. You know, Floyd Mayweather boxed Logan Paul with a huge weight disparity.
He was done by then.
I know.
He was done. Like, this is an active world champion.
But it's the world we're in.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. Now, when it comes down to it, it's just like Conor McGregor fighting Floyd Mayweather. Two completely different sports. Was the biggest pay-per-view in recent times, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Maybe if ever.
Those are like different comparisons, though, if you think about it. Do you not like...
Yeah, but the sport's in a wild place, isn't it? That's just, like, I'm just like the reality of where we are, you know. And I can't really say much when we're talking about Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you think Tank should get stripped of his title?
Yeah, I think anyone who, just in general, doesn't defend their title to do something else should get stripped because it shouldn't hold the belts up. You know, in any, like, I think that should be the reality in anything. You know, if you're not going to defend your belts or you're not defending, sometimes there's the rules, obviously, if you fight for a belt at a higher weight, you can retain the belt until there. But if you're not, don't have intention of defending the belts, you shouldn't hold the belts up. People should get the opportunity to fight for them.
What happened with the failed negotiations between AJ and Jake Paul?
I think anything's still possible. That was always discussed for next year. You know, this fight's November, early part of next year. AJ's in a great place because if anyone in the heavyweight division wants to make huge money, Anthony Joshua is the man they have to get in there with, you know.
One analyst defended Tank against the wave of criticism. He argued that fighters dedicate their lives to the sport, often without getting the recognition they deserve. If Davis wants to cash in on a spectacle fight, why shouldn't he? After years of knockouts, titles, and dominance, Tank has earned the right to chase both legacy and financial reward. This fight offers him not only a career-high payday, but also a chance to silence critics who doubt he can shine under the brightest spotlight. Fights and crossover bouts. Facing Jake Paul doesn't erase Tank's dominance. It amplifies it while opening the sport to a whole new audience.